The Ravens have about $8.9 million in cap space per Spotrac. So let's break down some cap casualties, okay? On today's episode, I'm going to give you 6 players I think the Baltimore Ravens could cut, could be on the chopping block to get a little bit more spending money for NFL free agency. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you guys hit that sub button because we are almost through the month of February, okay? I think we all forget that February only has 28 days, so we're coming close to the end of it in our month-long sub battle with Steelers Talk. We're close. We're still 27 subs behind. So to help me get there, make sure you guys hit that sub button. Help us pass our Steelers channel and bring us to the top of the AFC North. So I want to start with a little bit of a public service announcement, okay? This is a list of players who could help save money if they were cut. These are not players who I think suck, who I believe aren't good fits, or who I think should be cut. Okay, these are just 6 players who I think could be to save a little bit of money. Because that's the whole issue so far going into this offseason is the Ravens just don't have a lot of it. Money, that is. $8.9 million in cap space. And I know for you and me, when we don't really have a lot in our bank accounts, $8.9 million looks pretty awesome. However, in the National Football League, that's pennies, okay? So let's start with our number 1 surprise cut candidate. That is Marlon Humphrey. It pains me to even say that name in this segment, but he's number 1. And I want to start by saying that of the players on this list, of the 6 names you're about to hear, Marlowe is the one I'd least like to cut. Marlowe is also the one I think is least likely to be cut given how good this past season was. However, cutting Humphrey does save $12.7 million in cap space. It's a lot of money. Okay, that's too much to even really be ignored, okay? It's stuff that you have to talk about. Could he be cut? I don't think so, but $12.7 million is a lot of money. And why I don't think he'll be cut is because you look at who the Ravens have in that cornerback room right now. And from top to bottom, I see 2 guys in Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey that I believe will be on this team come the 2025 NFL season. The other 3, Tre White, Brandon Stephens, and Arthur Maulet, would not be surprised if every single one of those guys was wearing a different color jersey in 2025. And so if you believe that's the case, then cutting Marlon Humphrey and leaving your cornerback room only Nate Wiggins just makes 0 sense to me, okay? Especially coming off the year that he had. And he was a top 4 cornerback in all of football when it comes to passer rating allowed, okay? He allowed a passer rating of 61.1. Again, top 4 in the National Football League, not even adding to the fact that he picked the ball off 5 times as well. And so because of those things, frankly, I'll be honest with you, I'd be pissed if they cut Humphrey. I would be. I think what he brings to this team, not even really just as a football player, okay, that's of course added into it, but as a leader. Man, every guy on this team loves Marlon Humphrey. Does he talk a lot? Sure. Does he go on Instagram Live a little bit too much? Yeah, maybe. Does he dress a little bit funny? Yeah, he does. But he's a leader on this team. Guys look up to him. He sets the pace in this locker room on the defensive side of the ball, okay? And getting rid of him a year after having his best season ever doesn't make sense to me, even if you can't save $12 million. So weigh in for me. Comment section. Should the Ravens cut Marlon Humphrey? Give me a yes. Give me a no, of course. Why for yes and for no? Let me know your answer in the comment section right now. Number 2, Mr. Mark Andrews. And I feel like I have to say it because every time I talk about Mark, I have to say I'm not saying this just because he dropped the 2-point conversion and fumbled in the playoff game. But he's a $16 million cap hit in 2025. And Baltimore could save $11 million if he is cut or if he is traded. Okay? And in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense to cut Mark. Okay? So I don't think that's going to happen. I think 2 things might happen. I think his contract will be restructured, or I think he'll be traded because I believe that you can still get something out of him. And I'm not the only one that believes that. Okay, the 33rd team, they came out with an article of a trade idea for Mark Andrews. The Los Angeles Chargers. They get Mark. Baltimore would receive the Chargers' 3rd round pick, which is 86 in this upcoming draft. Okay, and honestly, guys, I think I'd make this trade. I do. I don't know how much more you're going to get from him. He is aging. I know he had a great year this past season, but still, to get a third-round pick, to save $11 million, I think it's worth it, especially when you have a tight end behind him, as a likely, that can just come right in and, you know what, be a really strong asset, a really good pass catcher, a really dynamic playmaker. So I'd make this trade. What would you guys do, though? Let me know in the comment section down below. Would you accept this trade? A for accept. D for decline. Give me your answer in the comment section. So coming up, we got 4 more surprise cut candidates, 4 more guys I think might need to keep their heads on a swivel over the next couple months. But where you need to keep your heads to is turning towards our friends over at Prize Picks, because basketball season's well underway. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching your favorite players. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. So sign up today, get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. So join over 10 million users and sign up today. You think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week? What about Giannis? Will he score more than 35 points? Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew run your game at Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is it's not just the major sports, okay, that you can choose some Prize Picks for. You could do it for boxing. You could do it for darts. And then, of course, you could do it for the NBA as well. So give me more than 170.5 total punches landed for Shakur Stevenson. Give me more than 4 180s thrown for Luke Littler. And give me more than 24.5 points for Luka Doncic. Make sure you guys head over to Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. We all knew that this name was going to be on the list, okay? And we're bringing him in at number 3. That is Justin Tucker. And let's be honest, guys. It's been an interesting last couple of weeks for Justin Tucker and this entire organization. But if you cut him post 6-1, okay, so you can't do it before June 1st and expect this much money. But if you cut him after June 1st, if he is one of your post-June 1st cut designations, you'd save $4.2 million in cap space, okay? And I even think I'd be thinking about it just based off of the season he had on the field this past year, okay? Took a massive step back, was a shell of himself. But with everything coming out just this past week, Jonas Schaaf with the Baltimore Banner, new article saying that the number of women who have, accused Justin Tucker of sexually inappropriate behavior is now up to 16, okay, in the last 2.5 weeks. And so I think that, obviously, is a reason to think about cutting him. And then also just mixed with the fact that he's not even really doing his job very well. And really wasn't doing his job very well this past year. And then also on top of everything, if you do it after June 1st, you could save $4.2 million. I think that's a very likely one. Let's keep our eyes on that over the next couple of weeks. I got to bring about this sub battle yet again. That's how important it is, ladies and gentlemen. February's coming to a close. I need your help. If you haven't subbed already, do it. I don't know what you're waiting for. This is the best coverage money can buy. That's the best part. It's free. Right here on YouTube. Help us be the best AFC North channel in the office. Help us pass Steelers talk. We're only 27 down. I need you. Hit that sub button. Let's go to number 4. David Ojabo, edge rusher, is one of these surprise cut candidates for the Baltimore Ravens. And you know what, guys? I hate to say it, but I might be ready to give up on Ojabo. I gave him the benefit of the doubt this year. I know producer Jack's booing because he's a Michigan man. But, how much longer are we going to extend this rope for David Ojabo? Okay? If you cut him, you'd save $1.78 million and only about $730,000 in dead money. And that's worth it to me for a guy who's only gotten 4 sacks in 3 seasons in Baltimore. And I know he's dealt with a lot of injuries, okay? I know he's had an up and down career, but at some point you just got to say, okay, that was a miss. Okay, David Ojabo is a miss. And if you could save almost $2 million from cutting a guy who's gotten 4 sacks in 3 years, it's like To me, that's honestly, ladies and gentlemen, a no-brainer. Shout it out in the comment section. Name a player you want Baltimore to cut. It can be one of the four I've already said. It can be one you think of on your own. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Let's stay on the defensive side of the ball, and let's talk a little bit of Trenton Simpson. Okay, talk about an up and down year. It's been really interesting. Okay, he was a starter in week 1. However, the last 4 weeks of the season, he played 15 snaps. Didn't get 15 tackles. Okay, you might have misheard me. Didn't get 15 tackles for loss. Nope, you misheard that as well. 15 snaps. Snaps! Just him being out on the field last 4 weeks only 15 times. Okay, and I get it, $1.5 million isn't a ton of savings, but why are you wasting that on a guy who the last 4 weeks of the season, the most crucial weeks of this season, because if you remember, with 4 weeks left to play, this team did not have the AFC North on lock. And they said, you know what, the guy who we had starting at the beginning of it, let's just not even get him on the field. Okay, I'm cutting Trenton Simpson. I'm saving $1.5 million, and I'm doing it without even batting an eye. Let's talk our last one, okay? Jalyn Armour-Davis, the cornerback out of Alabama. And he's only played in 19 games over the last 4 years. Okay, this one is, I don't want to say it's self-explanatory. I don't want to say it's easy, but he just hasn't found himself to be good enough to get on the field, okay? And when you could save $1 million, $1.1 million, and only have to go through $190,000 of dead money if you cut him, then in my opinion, that's a no-brainer, okay? Because, you got to think about it. I know $1.1 million doesn't sound like a ton when it's a $272 million cap space in the National Football League, but your team's only got 8.9, okay? Just cutting him, that gets you to 11. This team needs to make moves in free agency, so cutting these guys, even if it's just saving $1 million, that can go a long way. Okay, there's the 6 surprise cut candidates. Let me know who you agree with. Let me know who you disagree with in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's episode of the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. I am your host, Joey Petersen. I'm here all offseason long. Best coverage money can buy right here on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed already, do so right now.